Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Guys, I'm going to bring you an article regarding Tyler Perry's Sistas. It talks about having withdrawals from the Girlfriends show. Remember the show in the 90s with Tracy Ellis Ross and I won't name all the characters off the top of my head. I don't remember everyone. But the show is coming to, well, it has come to television. It comes on Wednesdays, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It stars a solid group of actresses who really embody the characters they are portraying. And we can all use girlfriends like that. Well, I've only seen one show, so I don't know yet whether that they would be my type of girlfriends. The women of Sisters, you can follow them on Instagram. Now there's KJ. She stars as Andy, a divorce attorney with 3 best friends and a beautiful man. AKA, let me try to pronounce this, Chido Nwakacha. I hope I didn't mess that up. Now, in the article, KJ is saying that she loved Andy Barnes because she and her have a lot in common. That we value love and relationships, and that they have a great sister circle. We take our job seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. If I met Andy, we would be best friends. Now, Novi-Brown plays Sabrina Holland. Novi who is getting her big break on the series called Sabrina's Annoying, but you can't help but relate to her character. She's the friend that is a little bit too susceptible to her friends' opinions. She doesn't have her own voice in love right now and is just gathering that from her friends, and I think we all go through that. So Sabrina is that woman who is really trying to understand herself when it comes to love and what that looks like to her. Now, Evany ONeal, Karen, she plays Karen Mott. Karen is going to be an instant fan favorite on the show, and Ebony knows why. And this is Ebony speaking. She's a lot more vulnerable than people who that know her think she is. She wants a lot of things that she doesn't have right now. She and her best friends, she has her girlfriend, she has her business, she doesn't have a family, she doesn't have a partner. You might also recognize Ebony from her role as Nia on Wu-Tang, an American saga on Hulu, and Adrian in the Oscar-nominated film If Beale Street Could Talk. And also, guys, if you remember, she put a billboard up to get Tyler Perry's attention to star in his next movie. And remember, Tyler Perry at first was really annoyed with her and told her, that that's not the way to get his attention. She spent that money on the billboard, and all she had to do is come and audition because the auditions were free, and that, there just wasn't any need to spend that money. Well, I think they kind of forgot about her for a little bit, and she actually came in to audition with him, and he had to be reminded of who she was. Well, she got the part. So in hindsight, was that in his subconscious? Well, did that billboard really work, where when it was time for her to audition, that was something that stuck? And he mentioned that he really was a fan of her after seeing some of her work. So Ebony has been, she's been doing some good things. So she plays Karen Mott. Now, Mignon plays Danny King. She describes Danny as being loyal and a slave to authenticity. She's big and she's loud and she's over the top, and you're going to have fun wherever she is. And like I said, this series comes on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on BET. Now, like I said, I watched the pilot show, and I'm just going to go over some things that, the way I saw it, and then I'll add a little bit of how I think about it, what I think of the show so far. Now, Andy is dating, or she loves, a married man who has convinced her he is leaving his wife. She reminds me of Joan from Girlfriends. Not the part where she's having the affair with the married man, because the character Joan on Girlfriends, I don't think she would have stood for that. But in the business sense of Andy, her being an attorney, she's more professional and cunning, more of a bulldog with more self-confidence of her capabilities and her value. That's on the job. Now, Andy has a client that's getting a divorce. In the divorce settlement, the client would have been satisfied with $5 million. However, Andy managed to get her $20 million and the house. Her client is so happy that she tells her she has a friend that is getting a divorce and that she would recommend her as her attorney. Now, Karen Mott, who is with a man that is cheating on her and has given her an STD. It appears that Karen wants to have a baby, but she's 36 and is told by her OBGYN that her eggs are considered geriatric. I didn't make that up, you guys. That was in the actual series. Even if she freezes her eggs may not, she may not get a good one out the bunch, in other words. Now, Karen tells her man to get out because he apologizes, and this time she's just not having it. She tells him that he has said, "I'm sorry," so many times, and this sorry, she had to get an antibiotic to cure his sorry. And when he comes back home, she wants him gone. Now, she's going to the birthday celebration. It's Andy's birthday. She's going to the birthday celebration. And she said when she get back, she wants him gone. Now, to me, I wasn't sure whether she was the Maya or the Tony. But I'm just guessing that I'm taking that Karen is the best friend of Andy. So since that's the way it is on the show, she would be more like Tony, being Joan's best friend on Girlfriends. Now, Sabrina Holland is a bank teller and meets a man who come to the bank and will only let her wait on him. He asks her out for a date, and at first, she's saying she doesn't mix business with pleasure, whatever, but finally she agrees that she's going to her friend Andy's birthday celebration. They're going to go to a restaurant and have drinks, that he could meet her there. So after this guy leaves, Sabrina's co-worker, which is a guy, gives her the scoop that he looked up the guy's account and that he's loaded. So I'm thinking, I said she was more of a Maya, but Maya wasn't all about the money. Tony was all about the money in Girlfriends. So I'm not sure, if Tyler Perry was trying to link the association together of these ladies with Girlfriends, but something is strangely familiar about the whole series. Now, Danny King is more like Kim. I'm tripping. Danny King is more like Lynn. Remember Lynn on Girlfriends? To me, she's more like Lynn. She's a little flighty. I guess that's why she works at the airport. Okay, that wasn't a good joke. Anyway, she's supportive of her friends. She confronts Karen's man because he works at the airport with her and tells him, in other words, to get your act together and don't be doing this to her friend. Now, he's the one that cheated and gave Karen the STD. Now, evidently, Danny introduced him to Karen and they're together. And so, with him cheating, she's not happy about it. He's taken some customers to where they have to check in at the airport, and she stands in front of the cart and kind of chastises him, telling him off, with everybody around, and nobody seems to be paying her attention while she cusses him out. But anyway, let's go to the birthday celebration. The girls are talking, and Andy tells the sisters. Now, Andy is the one that's an attorney that's having the affair with the married man. Okay. She doesn't call it an affair. She thinks he loves her and she loves him. But anyway, Andy tells the sisters that she will be breaking up with Gary, I think his name is. Now, Danny, the one that stopped the guy with the little cart taking the passengers to the check-in window. Danny asked, okay, what's wrong with him? He seems to be perfect. You guys seem to be a good match. So she asked, okay, the possibilities. Is he down low? Is he Captain Hook? And she makes a gesture with her finger, bent like a hook, if you know what I mean. And so they all laugh. And then she said, or is he a turtleneck? And she demonstrates someone pulling up from the neck part of the sweater, suggesting he hasn't been circumcised. Okay. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of that term? Captain Hook and turtleneck? I don't think I'm naive, but that's a new one on me. But anyway, meanwhile, the stranger from the bank comes in. Now they checking him out, and they're saying things, and he feels very uncomfortable. So Karen leaves with him, and they go to the lounge part of the restaurant. And there is something about him that makes me think that it's some shenanigans going on with him, and Karen is not getting, she don't really know him. And I have a feeling that, she's going to find out some things. So, but mind you, Karen's co-worker, remember the one I told you that checked into his bank account and told her that he's loaded? The co-worker suspected that he was interested in him instead of her. And when the stranger, the bank customer comes into the restaurant to have a drink, he's giving off a different vibe from what he did in the bank. His shirt is buttoned down, trying to look like, I guess, Harry Belafonte. And for those of you that are younger, Google it. He's got his shirt all unbuttoned and everything. And so he's giving off a different vibe from the bank. Now, no one but Karen knows that Gary is married. Gary is the married man that Andy is with. So Karen reminds Andy why being with him is wrong, that they both have been cheated on and it doesn't feel good. After that conversation, Gary walks in with a bouquet of white roses. Now, I forget, but isn't white roses the color of friendship? Am I wrong there? So that kind of draw my attention. That may not mean anything. Maybe that's all the roses that, the person that runs around and do errands when you doing a TV show. Maybe that's the only color roses he could find. I don't know. But they all check him out, and the couple leaves. Andy and Gary leave, and they go back to her house. And after they get intimate, his phone rings, and he gets a text, and it's his wife telling him their daughter has a fever, and so he has to leave. And she was expecting him to spend the night. So guys, you can tell where this is going, in the beginning, the first scene when it shows Andy and Gary, and after they're intimate, he's saying that, okay, you can do this and this, and I'll get the kids ready for school. So you're kind of thinking that they're married to each other, but it comes out later on in that scene that he is married to someone else, and but Gary is telling Andy that he loves her. Okay, now Karen goes home, and Zach is the name of the guy, and Zach is still there, and she's telling him, to get out, whatever, and he starts crying, and he begs her, don't leave me. Mind you, I didn't see one single tear, and I've seen this actor before, so I think it was purposely done, that he didn't shed a tear so we could kind of see the fakeness of the character. I don't know. So he gets on his knees and he buries his head. She's wearing a dress or whatever. He buries his head in her, in the dress and whatever, and he's crying and begging. So Karen goes to her room, and she's kind of feeling a little frisky, And then Zach is on the couch, and he's feeling lonely as well, and goes into the room. Let's just say Karen is easily seduced, and her telling him to get out, is like, but not really. Go, but don't go. So I knew that was coming. So the next day, Andy, okay, and let me say again, she's the attorney. The next day, Andy goes to work, and she meets with the new client that her other client had previously referred. The first question that Andy asks is, okay, she's getting everything together, the paperwork. What is your husband's name? And the client tells her, Gary Marshall, and he had another name, but I couldn't catch what the last name was, but Gary Marshall. Oh my God. She realizes at that point, this client is the wife of her lover. So it ends right there, and it has a preview and whatever. And so I think I'm going to do the next episode just to see. I don't know, guys, if I like it or not, or it's just because I for some reason I'm just trying so hard, and maybe that's the problem. I'm trying so hard to compare it with the Girlfriend series, because that was such a popular series that stayed on for years. I was so sorry when that went off, because it was very entertaining. They did a lot of shenanigans, but they also touched on very serious subject. One of their friends that stole Joan's boyfriend, and Joan had always hated her for it. But then when the friend came amongst the four of them, the girl was telling, she lived in a big house, she had money and this and that, and her life was this and that. And Joan is getting very jealous about this. But at the same time, the girl says now she has AIDS. That was another thing that he gave her, was AIDS, because he played the field, he cheated. Because when he was with Joan, he cheated on Joan with the girl, and Kimberly Elise played that part. Remember, guys? So there was very serious moments in that show that had lessons to it, and and had good advice to it. And in that girlfriend show, there were some episodes, and Lynn was doing a documentary on AIDS, and this lady was Kimberly Elise was playing the lady, and it was a part where it was teaching people at the same time, being safe and detecting, get tested and this and that. Well, in the episode, on the final episode with Kimberly Elise, it did say that the lady died of AIDS. So, that was in the 90s when that show came out. I think 94, 95. So today, AIDS doesn't necessarily have a death sentence. In fact, a lot of people are living a normal lifespan with AIDS. But I'm just saying, with Girlfriends, it did touch on a lot of serious subjects and a lot of funny things. And I still watch the episodes, guys. I watch the episodes and laugh off of certain things. And gosh, it still makes me laugh because it's been so long ago that I watched that when the episode comes on, it's like fresh and new to me. So I really like Girlfriends, and I was hoping that Sistas was a smidget like Girlfriends as far as the funny, the comedy, that Girlfriends had, the serious subjects, the dramatics that came with it, the shenanigans that the girls got into, and, just life's lessons sometimes. So I'm hoping that Sistas bring that. And like I said, I don't really know right now. I haven't given it, with one episode, it didn't grab me. So, we'll see. I'll look at next week, cause, I have my DVR set, but I'll look at next week and see what I think about that one. So guys, I'm going to end it right there. I just wanted to introduce you to Sisters with the executive producer being Tyler Perry. And, I watched this other show, Ovo, and I'm not going to review that because, I just caught the last probably 20 minutes and I wasn't impressed, and maybe that'll get better. So maybe I'll watch I'll wait till that same episode come in and maybe I'll watch all of it. But from what I saw, I wasn't impressed with that. So anyway, guys, I'll leave you right there. I said that, didn't I? I'll leave you right there. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining in. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you again with another article. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a good night.